It is day 49. Nope, 40. Don't know where I got 49. Maybe I was thinking 39. Anyway, it's day 40. And I didn't really update last night, probably because I was just too sad to discuss the situation. It's now the end of day 40, and so I figured I probably need to record a little update before we go to bed. And I, again, haven't really looked through the very few videos I took yesterday, so I'm not really sure what I said, but I think probably most of them were sort of discouraged sounding. Because basically we made it through the aqueduct portion yesterday, and I was able to get through it without, having to call in help or, that sort of thing. But it was definitely flared up my foot pretty quickly, and it was a difficult 17 miles, even though it's totally flat. Although sometimes flat can be harder. With this particular injury, downhill tends to be the hardest, and I already really don't like downhill, so that's sort of like a double whammy. But anyway, yeah, with like the recommendations we had gotten from the physical therapist and just how my foot was feeling and all that kind of stuff, it seemed like I'd had a good amount of rest, and we'd kind of like agreed on this plan of trying this day back and seeing how it went. And yeah, decided needed some more rest after this. And so we basically had to decide, like, okay, last night we needed to figure out, like, okay, where are we gonna stay? And then, like, just meaning for last night, like, where are we gonna camp or whatever? And then, what are we gonna do after that? So we ended up finding a place to camp. We were gonna camp at the Weeville Market, and then we just got there, and Henry had essentially not slept the night before, and it was like super windy, and our tent largely relies, like, not entirely, but especially the windier it is, the more important it is that we have like some rocks available, just because of the not freestanding nature of our tent. So anyway, we were like all ready to camp and just decided to get a hitch, or try to get a hitch into town. We tried to Uber and stuff, and none of that was available, so thankfully it didn't take too long to get a hitch from a very nice local person who was heading into town. So anyway, it's actually the same hotel we were at the week before, so that was kind of convenient. We knew like that we'd had a really good experience there. Just seems, pretty safe and like a good value for our money, which is great, especially because we've had to like stay so many more places than we thought we would. So anyway, we're back there, and then today was kind of our day to like make a plan. And we pretty much had two options. One option was like, do we basically take a longer break, like just plan to take a couple of weeks off or something like that, and fly somewhere and like come back in a couple weeks basically, or do we take a shorter rest period and go back to the trail, but doing shorter days in an effort to kind of rehab on trail, which is what we were hoping to do, but it just like was sort of a bummer that we like had to do this big day at the beginning. And anyway, all of that to say, that was sort of our options, and we decided to do the first one. So we're deciding to take several more days of rest here, try to go back on the trail and do some shorter days. There are limitations to that because, like, on the one hand, if you want to do the whole trail, you really can't do like all these short days, but we don't even know if we can do the whole trail. So it's like, doing some of it is better than doing, it's not like an all or nothing thing, obviously, for one. But there is a limit to that, in that like the way that the campsites are, and especially the food and the water carries, a lot of times you really have to go further than 5-10 miles a day in order to be able to carry enough food to get to the next resupply, or carry enough water. I'm not explaining this super well, but I feel like it probably is sort of self-explanatory. Basically, at a certain point, if you're not going far enough, you like can't really do it logistically. So we kind of mapped out a plan from where we are going south of like how we can do it in some smaller days. And it's only 40 miles to our next resupply, which is like pretty reasonable in terms of just like seeing how this goes. So anyway, it's been pretty discouraging just because we've had, as you guys know, like a lot of various issues and have just been off trail a lot more than we planned to be. Early on, it was like, you know, a couple of snowstorms and then, you know, getting sick. We've had, you know, 2 different illnesses that each of us got, sometimes at different times and sometimes at the same time. And then like obviously chose to spend some time with our family, and yeah, now this injury, it's just getting a little like, okay, this is not how we envisioned it. So that's kind of sad, but we feel like we're doing everything we can to get back out there, and really, really, really hoping that we can do that. And yeah, I don't know really if I'm going to post videos the next few days because honestly, nothing very exciting is going on. So I'll kind of play it by ear if I post any videos or not. If I do, they'll probably be pretty short. But let's see, what did we do today? I had my only video you saw probably, I guess, before this. We did play Wingspan. Henry walked to Target and bought it. So that's something we have to do the next few days. And Henry's actually here on his Kindle. So we have that, and we watched a little bit of TV. I spend a good part of the day stretching. It's not really a good part of the day, but it is, the stretches really add up. When you do a lot of stretching, man, it does take some time. And we have, you know, just normal like audiobooks and whatever. So anyway, that's mostly what we'll be doing here. Okay, that was kind of a long update, but felt like I needed to discuss all of that, and hopefully we'll have some better news in the coming days, but we will see, and trying to keep a positive attitude, and we are genuinely grateful for everything we've gotten to do so far, and just really hoping that it continues. Bye.